Now, this story itself is coming right from the vault of my interesting life experiences. This is a story from kindergarten, so I don't really expect to remember much, but I'm gonna try my best because this story is a little crazy. I don't remember what we were doing. I barely remember anything because of how long ago this was. This was literally in kindergarten. Yeah, in kindergarten. The way that the school set up is classes were all inside the building, and then there was, to the side of the building, there would be park-ish thing where we would have recess, I guess. Now, the building was not that large in vertical size. It only had like one floor. I don't even remember, to be honest. Let's just say it had 4.5. Yeah, a floor and a half. On the roof, they would allow us to play on the roof. I don't know why. They allowed kindergartners to play on the roof. There was painting supplies up there, kickball, as if the ball could not just fly off the roof and hit someone's car. Yeah, that was not the most thought out, well-planned establishment. And yeah, they're shut down. I drove past it with the bro Chris, or better known as Copy Task, like a week ago. Yeah, it's shut down. It's abandoned. Going back to the story, now that you understand that this building is not as high as you probably think it would be, and I could tell you the rest of the story. I don't really remember much because, once again, this is a kindergarten story. All I remember is that we were walking up, and there was these two kids. They didn't really have as much liking for each other as all the other students did. I mean, we barely knew what liking and disliking was back then. We were in kindergarten. Come on now. I used to take people's mac and cheese without even asking. No one even cared. They just allowed me to steal people's food and said nothing. This is back when Zach and Cody was popping. Like, I remember laying down and then hearing people quote Zach. Remember that episode of Zach and Cody when Maddie was watching those little kids, and that one little kid had a dream where he was like, "Oh, Maddie, I love you so much." Yeah, I remember someone quoting that in kindergarten. That's just one memory that stuck out. Moving forward, walking up the stairs, going to the roof. Everyone's happy because being on the roof, I don't know, as a little kid, that was kind of fun and exciting. Now it's kind of just like, if we're not getting baked, why are we up here? Like, seriously. I started painting, not caring what anyone else is really doing. The one thing I really remember from this time period in my childhood is that my brain was literally just whiteness. Like, I don't remember having any type of thoughts. It might sound weird or it might sound crazy, but my brain was literally just whiteness. Like, I just thought nothing at all times. It was nothing at all. I wish I could do that now. Now, my brain is just complete whiteness. I hear things around me. I do nothing. I'm just steady painting. This girl comes up to me. She asks if she can use the paintbrush I was using. I don't remember answering her. All I remember is that the paintbrush was just gone, and it wasn't in my hand anymore. So I guess she took it or I gave it to her. Either way, I look over, and I see these two kids. They're arguing about who gets to play with this one ball. Keep in mind, there was balls everywhere that no one was using. But no, them being little kids, being extremely immature, and wanting to house everything that they touched. They wanted that very specific ball. They're arguing. Teachers doing nothing. I don't even think they noticed that they were arguing. Even if they did notice, they probably would do literally nothing. This kindergarten was just not professionally built, which is probably why they shut down very early. While they're arguing, the ball, they're kind of tugging it back and forth until it rips out of both of their hands and then goes flying over the roof. That's when one of them starts crying, and that's when the other one starts laughing. The teacher comes over, asks, "Why are you crying?" He answers while sobbing, "The ball went over the roof, and it's all Brandon's fault." Brandon's not his real name. I don't even remember his real name, so we're just going to call him Brandon. He says it's all Brandon's fault. And Brandon, you know, he's over there smirking, laughing, as what I would do if I was in that situation. The teacher just starts nagging, saying nonsense, and then gives the child another ball. Now, the child did not want that ball, as he threw that ball at Brandon. Brandon did not like that, not at all. So you know what Brandon did? Brandon pushed the child off of the roof, and then the child hit his head, and his head bust open. I'm not joking. This actually happened. I remember this very thoroughly because when we went back downstairs, Brandon had the craziest smirk on his face. He knew exactly what he did, and he was very happy about it. Now, when he threw this child over the edge, no one really noticed until we heard a loud boom sound, and then we heard screaming. There was a lot of blood. A lot of blood. Like, that was probably the most blood I've ever seen at that age, at that time period. Now, you're probably wondering, did this kid survive? Yes, this kid survived. He had a giant gash on his head, though. It was like blood literally everywhere. Like, that's the only thing I remember, just seeing red everywhere. And when we went back to class, like I said, Brandon just had the craziest smirk on his face. Like, everything was okay. Like, he planned for that to happen. Now that I think about it, he reminded me of Joker. Now, the teacher even pointed out, she even said, "You know exactly what you did, don't you? And you still got that smirk on your face." I don't really remember seeing Brandon anymore. and I know the kid came back, but he had stitches. But I never really cared, to be honest. Like I said, my brain was literally just whiteness. Like, I didn't really think of much. I would go home, watch cartoons, and then go to kindergarten, see fatalities happen, and then go back home and watch cartoons. Like, it was just Disney Channel and Cartoon Network. That was life back then. Everything else was just completely blank. Hope you enjoyed this very insane story. Leave a like and a comment. I'll be back with another video very soon. I'm Joshua, and I'm out.
People talk a lot of shit and that got to me. The shorty that I love